I'm Matthew Barrier, full name. I've been working here on and off for probably about 4 years. Will bought the business in March 2016, and I started working maybe like a small handful of months after that, so like 3 or 4 years roundabout. I really enjoy having Will as a boss. Like, it's hard for some people to hold down jobs simply because the management structure is terrible, or like, I don't know, like just the corporate structure if it feels cumbersome. But this is a very small business. I get infinite creative liberties to do like all of the art, the menu, et cetera, et cetera. You know, small business type stuff. You can't deny that it's fun. There's a significant crowd that came to the deli when they were in college X amount of years ago. Had people that have graduated in the 60s that will show up and just like get a juicy burger because that's been a thing for that long. But most of the kids that we get are, you know, betas or aggro, or just the kids that live in East Campus. What state they show up in is different depending on the time. We stay open until 2 a.m. on weekend nights. So we definitely get a lot of the after-bar crowd, like a substantial number of the after-bar crowd. And that's honestly responsible for keeping us in business very well. But we also made there's good cases to be made for sales of alcohol when you consider that like all of these kids in East Campus are inevitably going to be buying alcohol, and we being here probably reduce the amount of drunk driving that goes on between, you know, the transit between East Campus to a place where you can buy booze. And so us selling alcohol is actually better than these kids going somewhere else and getting it. Nobody else could just come into this part of town and just randomly open up a business. And that's part of what makes LSD, you know, so unique. And so like, I don't know, it makes us more apt to cater to the neighborhood because we're taking advantage of being the only people that can. So we're trying to do that the best that we can. Having a bar, a small bar, you know, maybe having like, you know, like 4 beers on tap, you know, outdoor seating, you know, with like the drink cups and the lights and stuff. It's probably where we're trying to go with it, because that'll just feed into the food, you know, sell more food, sell more beer, you know, it's like more money, more power, you know, type shit. Oh, I don't know, man, it's all been a good memory for real. I wouldn't want to work anywhere else in town. I worked at Michael's at the art store. I've worked, I worked at that MBS textbook place for a little bit, doing some like shitty like day labor type shit. Completely different, and it's the beauty in small business, you know. It is kind of like, metaphorically speaking, like a little bit of like what I idealistically would think of being the American dream. But that's a completely different conversation and tangent. On that notion, I realized that a lot of the kids that, you know, go to school around here are in business and are going to school to apply their knowledge in business, you know, to make things for themselves. And I hope that LSD can continue to exist to serve as a good example to these kids, you know, as they go through college. It's one of those things that you remember, you know, back in the day that you might model your shit after later, and that's important. I love LSD because it's important to respect that history and continue to provide, I don't know, Columbia, our town, with the very best that we can with what we're given.